All right, I'm back again. Hey, what's up, Sammy? I've been following for a minute now. Glad I can finally catch a stream. A beginner advice on learning anatomy. Been having a hard time drawing boxes and transitioning. For me, like how I approach any kind of like learning thing, I like to like group everything into just kind of like drawing in general. Like I'm basically practicing when even when I'm doing like bigger drawings or in my sketchbook, it's kind of like all the same thing. And I like to like group everything together. So am I grouping everything together? I kind of mean like merging all of the fundamentals and different things into like just one thing practicing. So for like when I'm doing a drawing and but I like merge things, but also sort of like sometimes will focus on playing around with a certain aspect more. So like if I was gonna play around with anatomy, one of the ways that I would kind of like go about doing it is just sort of messing around with different whatever knowledge I currently have, then I'll play around with those sorts of things. So like whatever different muscles and things that I know about. And if you don't know any muscles or bones, then that's fine. You can kind of just take whatever you know about, and then start playing around with that. And really from there, I think it's like mostly just about repetition and kind of like learning. Like for me, I like to learn through playing with different things. That's kind of how, for me, information sticks the best. So this is kind of like what I would do for playing around with anatomy and just kind of messing around. I could pretty much a lot of times I'll like do pretty like goofy or wacky things just because I find that like to be the most fun. But it has like a lot of it helps a lot with like when I'm doing more realistic drawings too. And I kind of like to blend realistic or realism with like a cartoony sort of thing as well. But yeah, so like doing these different goofy drawings, I'm actually still practicing like anatomy, and it doesn't really matter how wacky I get with playing around with anatomy because I'm learning like a bunch of things that I sometimes like wouldn't even know I'm learning, but they'll come up like as useful later. Do- And it doesn't really matter what kind of style or subject you do, but it's all basically the same thing. You're always doing some kind of like form, some like character, and then it's gonna have like probably light and shadow, some kind of like spacing between characters on different things. So I just like to play around and almost like through bending and changing anatomy, I learn it a lot better. It's like a lot more comfortable because I'll do like weird angles I wouldn't normally do that might require um like if I was gonna be like super serious and um like yeah, it just I wouldn't try as many like crazy angles or different things. So I think like for me doing these goofy cartoony things kind of like helps me be like more free with my drawings, and I'll often do a lot more complex or different things because of that. So I think if you can find a way to just have fun while you're practicing at the same time and kind of um like if you're like working towards a particular goal, like you want to do comic books or paintings or just draw your characters and things like that, then I think go in for drawing your characters, and then as you're drawing the characters, just kind of like maybe playing around with anatomy more or add in whatever you learned that day and that sort of thing, and just it's like art is a slow progression, but like you're always progressing no matter what you're really, if you're drawing, you're pretty much progressing. So yeah, I think it just takes time, but for me, playing around with goofy and wacky characters and not really like striving for perfection, but just kind of like more looking for understanding, I guess, is kind of what I usually go for. But yeah, I think if you can merge a lot of fundamentals into one kind of chunk, I think then there you kind of like don't need transitions as much. And for me, like I merge like pretty much all the different fundamentals together. Like I shade and detail and do everything all as I'm like working as like one unit sort of. And then like also doing scenes for like spacing and perspective. And I think that really helps. And it's not even like you have to merge everything into one and draw scenes. You could if you're like only into characters, you can just draw like merge I don't know, shading with anatomy and practice those two together. You could like pretty much any fundamentals you could just like group together and practice them multiple things at once. And then I think it might be a little easier to almost understand why like certain fundamentals are there. So yeah, don't know if that helps, but thank you. That helps a lot. I've been struggling with faces the most. I find it hard to make different faces that are expressive. Yeah. I mean, for faces, I would probably take like a similar approach. Like on this character, he's got a face that's quite small, but I basically do the same thing. And like by like play around, I kind of mean like stretching and squeezing things or like tilting, kind of just like if they were like toys or something you could like physically grab and like turn and kind of morph however you want, then like the same thing you can do for expressions. And I was like I don't really know anything about like specific expressions, but everything that I've kind of learned for my drawing is just from messing around. So if I like I don't know particular expressions other than like basics like smile and things, but everything I've learned is just kind of like I will just start a character with like his mouth open or maybe like the eyes wide open. And then from there, I'm kind of thinking like for just like to play around with, like what does smiling affect? And then I would kind of like puff out the cheeks and mostly just to play around rather than trying to go for something. And then maybe since his cheeks are puffed out, then I could have his chin close together and then teeth. And then kind of from here, I could have um like bigger eyebrows. And it's just kind of like this is what I do just over and over. And then give him like a little bit of hair. But then I would have like one character, and then I would continue down the body, give him more clothes and that. And then when I go to the next character, if I was practicing like more so expressions, then I would go again and then maybe like a different angle or maybe this time I try since his eyebrows were up, now I'll try the opposite. And now he looks a little bit sad. And then I'll kind of like continue with that idea and maybe get like an opposite. So his mouth is like open and his cheeks are up. So what if his cheeks were now down and his mouth was down? So I think like just playing around with this sort of thing and just seeing if you pull like an eye way out on a person and then now like what is that kind of effect is usually what I go for to make things kind of interesting. And then since his eye is way out, I can then kind of make it, I don't know, some like goofy angle and make his chin down at this area. But yeah, I just kind of try to play around and have fun, and I'm not too worried about like where I'm at skill wise or anything like that, because that just kind of comes naturally, and it's not something I can like really have that much control over like in the moment. But I can I do have like control over if I want to have fun with my drawings and play around, so kind of do that. Stream 2, the sequel. Wow, like so, yeah, he's a big boy. Yeah, I had to stop the stream earlier today because some things, but yeah, now I'm back. I really wanted to keep streaming. Have you done any Dark Souls S drawings? I haven't done any like specific Dark Souls, but I do like the more gritty dark style, and I kind of like um wouldn't necessarily like say bit on Dark Souls, but Dark Souls is kind of like inspiration, I guess, in like the back of my head. So some decisions I make are kind of like on that darker style. Is this on the Canson book you linked? Yeah, this is the paper that I usually use for like the more elaborate drawings. Mhm. I just started a new one because I ran out of paper on the last one. Can I send you one of my drawings? Um, why do you wanna send me one of your drawings? Criticism. I like your complex style. Thank you. Also like doing detail heavy work. Mm, I don't know. I'm not really sure if me like doing critique on your stuff if that would really help you too much. Hey again, hey Ray. Yeah, I started up the stream again. Give this horse some wild hair. I wish I can draw like you, but I'm stuck with with a cartoon style. There's nothing wrong with the cartoon style. I draw pretty like cartoony, and I think that's like the most fun way to draw. Not really a fan of the ultra realism. Yeah. Yeah, I like to blend like certain things from like real life and then with more cartoony and then but it kind of happens naturally from just like learning things and then playing around with them really. I think if you like have a cartoony style, I think that could be like a pretty good like starting point. And if you want to work in like more realistic things in, you can kind of just like if you like learn a few objects or different things, like for me, everything that I learn is kind of like new items or new characters. So like if I learn like a new armor type, then that's like a new outfit I can basically put onto my character. And I think that's like kind of fun because then learning is almost like if you think of like a video game, learning is like getting like DLC or like extra content you can basically put into like your game if drawing was like a game. And then like the more playing around and cartoony part is kind of like when you like go to play the game and you can kind of like do whatever you want with the new items or things that you learned, which are like new items you can put into your creations. Free DLC, yeah, exactly. Mm, yeah, art is really the ultimate video game. Hey, Tartanus. Sorry if I ever pronounce your guys' names wrong. No, you said it right. You're fine. I don't usually draw characters this small, but I think it will be pretty cool to have like this scene going. I like this angle back here. I need to tell a lot of people how to say Tartanus not is or um C sounding. Uh, You don't talk that much, do you? Like me? It's kind of hard to talk and draw at the same time, and I don't know. I mostly like to talk if like people have questions or say random stuff, but I really like to come up with like random things for me to say just to like fill silence or that sort of thing because that gets really draining. So it's kind of chill drawing and hanging out really. What's that thing on your hand? It's just a glove. It's a brush, yeah. Yeah, I have both a brush and glove, but it's just so that I don't smudge the ink. I want to get one. I've smudged a lot of my drawings. Yeah, it helps a lot with like I used to use Crayola markers a lot, and they like really smudge if you have any of your hand on it. And then like the ink I'm using right now is kind of can smudge a little too. And when I use like Sumi or like dip ink, then it's like it dries like pretty matte and has like a gloss. And if I like put like my bare hand on it, sometimes it'll like stick a little. So especially if it hasn't had that much time to draw or to dry. Yeah, I just gonna have it to be safe. Yeah, I think you can find gloves pretty cheap. I want to get some ink so I can try to make ink monsters. I've never done it before though. What is an ink monster? Splash a little ink on the page and make it a monster. Oh, okay. Or a turtle. Yeah, yeah, I used to, well, I was trying to do, like, I was splattering ink on the page to get some drawings going as like a kind of way to like get through mistakes. And yeah, one of mine ended up being a turtle. I just zoned out, realizing. No, what did you realize? Oh, you realized that you're zoned out? You drew a lot of Luffy. Yeah, Luffy's a pretty cool character. I like a lot of Oda's art. I personally don't like the art style of most anime. Yeah, I'm gonna I like some of them. If it has like I don't know. It's kind of like a feel or a vibe that some have that I feel like is like really cool. But yeah, I kind of understand that. A lot of anime seem to have um like don't feel very unique or it feel like a little hollow. I don't know. You're definitely not biased because you shade more than anything. Yeah, I'm kind of a fan of a lot a lot of anime. Some are um like a lot better than other ones. I think anime definitely has really good like animation though. Like some of that stuff is so beautiful. I like shading. It's my favorite thing to draw. Yeah, shading is pretty fun. Chair? If you're asking if this is a chair, no, it's a hat, but I haven't drawn the face yet. A monkey can send it. Well, monkey's gonna have to get past this pirate looking guy. Can you draw some spooky spaghetti? I don't even know what would make spaghetti spooky. I guess I could like make the spaghetti into like some kind of monster. That would probably be pretty spooky. When I was little, I used to be scared of spaghetti because it looked like worms to me. That's kind of understandable. I could see how how it would seem like that. Scary eyes and teeth. Yeah, I'd probably have to add that. Bunch of like spaghetti noodles interweaved. One semi rule is it has to be on a plate or bowl. Yeah, that. Yeah. Otherwise, it would just be a walking spaghetti monster. Be right back. All right, man. No problem. How strong is that skeleton? Because I want that hat. I'm not sure. He's got like a whole army of people after him, so yeah, he does have a pretty cool hat. Welcome back, man. You like ink into them? Yeah, you can there's a lot of like shading possibilities with ink. I really like doing ink washes. I got my ink pen out. Time to draw. Not nearly as well as usual though. Dum, dum. Yeah, I don't think it matters too much how your drawings turn out. I think I don't know. For me, it's kind of like a endurance, long run kind of thing. I think if you're drawing, that's like it's enough. Still learning how to use it. Yeah, it just kind of takes time. You're still learning how to hatch? I never really explored hatching too much. I think it's pretty cool though, especially since you don't need much setup. You can just kind of hatch with whatever pen you're using. You start drawing spirals when you don't know what to draw until you see something. Yeah, it's a pretty good way to draw. Spirals. Whenever someone talks about spirals now, I always think of the horror anime. It's like Uzumaki, I think. Watch a lot of videos till you find something cool. Yeah, it's always interesting that everyone kind of has like a different way to get their drawing process going. Get the drawing juices flowing. Yeah, exactly. Get them art juice flowing. Whatever, whatever the juice is. Well, what is the juice actually made of? Like if I did that, I would just keep watching videos until I drop. Mm, Sometimes I'll watch videos to kind of like learn different things, like when I want to learn about samurai armor or something. But yeah, I'll probably I end up watching that stuff for like 4 hours. But then when I go to draw, I'm like super motivated. I want to like dump all of the info that I learned onto the page. Yeah, sorry, I don't know if you're gonna be able to get this hat now. It's being heavily guarded by his skeletons underneath the hat as well. So you have to um, duke it out with three. God bless the real artists making real art. Sorry, the amount of AI I've been exposed to on a daily basis in my field is vomit inducing. All I do lately is watch people drawing or painting. It helps. Yeah, I haven't seen much AI, but I also probably watch things that um there'd be no reason to do AI for. But yeah, it's definitely more common now. I do see though, like every single music playlist has AI on the covers and stuff. Good on you, May. I'm an artist myself, so it makes me angry often. Yeah, I don't know. AI doesn't bother me, like AI itself, because I see like a lot of AI art that actually like looks pretty cool and like kind of inspires me sometimes. But yeah, I definitely don't think AI should be in the same category as like um people like hand making art and that sort of thing. I think it should definitely be separated in a way. Try not to let it overwhelm me as much anymore, but you know how it is. Yeah, I definitely see your point of view. I really like what you've done under his top hat. Yeah, he's getting a little crazy with the skeletons. Little party going on there. Yeah. I like stacking a lot of like characters in different places. Yeah, I've been focusing on forms and 3D space for the past year or so. At what point in your education did it become intuitive? Um, hmm, that's kind of hard. I don't know when like the exact moment when it um became like more automatic, I guess. It's still something that I'm kind of like constantly trying to improve at, and like I think about a lot with like about space and things. Mm, yeah, I'm not really sure. I've been drawing for like the last 3 to 4 years from only imagination. So I'd say like maybe halfway through that time, I am like maybe yeah, like halfway or like in the last year, it's gotten like way more automatic for where I don't have to like think about it as much. But whenever I'm like drawing, and a lot of my like scenes and the art that I do is like really focused on space, so I'm still like kind of thinking about it because it's more of like a thing that I have a lot of fun experimenting with. But yeah, as far as like just kind of like doodling and not thinking, I think maybe like 2 years of like really getting a grasp of it. Dun, dun, dun. I think it's probably different for everyone though. Like you might grasp it a lot sooner or but it's kind of something that also like creeps up and you don't even like really notice it. Like if you just keep drawing and experimenting and like playing around with things, like you'll just eventually like notice that. But like by the time you get used to it, it kind of won't be something that I don't think you'll focus on as much. It'll just kind of creep up one day, and then you just gotta be like, oh hey, I guess I'm not really needing to like exert so much energy to trying to get things three-dimensional or that sort of thing. Hey, what's up, Brandy? Gotcha. It seems that you've worked so much on it that it's become natural. I'm still at the point of having to specifically focus on perspective and double checking forms into their spaces. Yeah. Um, I'll see. I think I have a sketchbook here actually. I kind of like I talked about this a lot, but like how I go about learning anything is kind of I decided to do more of like a like I was kind of thinking like what I have the most fun with in drawing, and for me it's kind of like experimenting and playing around with like a cartoony realism sort of thing going on. And like this is a sketchbook I did a year or two ago. And basically how I've been learning for the last like 4 years has just been like playing around with characters. Like I would just do different characters and then kind of like mess around. And this was probably like 2 years ago. But then like the faces would just be like all wild. But learning like the space part, I like stacking a lot of like here I'm like stacking characters on top of their heads and different things. See if I can find some other ones. But yeah, I would like basically draw characters interacting, and that kind of like I think helped me get some like spatial awareness, since when characters are interacting with each other, there kind of has to be some like space to make it a little bit believable. And then a lot yeah, I do a lot of characters um, stacked on top of each other, basically, and that sort of thing, and just kind of like little interactions. But I think that really helped me for getting used to space on things. And then like even when I'm doing details, like this little like clown, I don't know what that's called, but the neck piece on the clown suit is like how it kind of sits there. I'm really thinking about like space and mostly like stacking things on top of each other, and then like through different like horizontally and vertically, and just basically to get like repetition going, and then just get more and more used to placing things in a 3D space. But yeah, I think playing around with like different characters and doing multi heads that are all kind of like interlocked and different things like that really helps me like get a understanding of things. I also like to like merge everything together, like when I'm drawing, I'm not thinking about any specific fundamental, I guess. It's just kind of like all as one whole, playing around with like everything at the same time and just kind of like going for what I think of. Probably gonna have to change out the ink cartridge. It's getting kind of low. All hail the art god. I definitely don't think I'm an art god, but I'm just a regular dude. Thanks for the feedback. Are there any specific drawing exercise that helped you get the fundamentals down? Um, Kind of just what I talked about earlier, just like playing around with ideas, really. Like, kind of like not like as long as you know what the fundamentals are, like you kind of like have identified them, I guess. Then like for me, then I knew like the fundamentals, what they were, and like had a very basic understanding. And then from there, like I just decided to kind of like playing around with things is how I have the most fun with drawing. So then I just kind of went and would just be like, well, I want to draw a samurai or something. So then I would pretty much whatever current knowledge I have had at the time, then I would just go and attempt on drawing a samurai and not really worried about the outcome, but more so just because I want to kind of have fun and draw something I'm interested in. So then I would go and draw a samurai, and then like I would implement basically the fundamentals as I would go. So like I mean, samurai has a face, so then I'm practicing anatomy while drawing the face, and then I would add like some shadow and whatever I know about light and shadow at the time, and whatever I know about anatomy, and just playing with whatever like my base knowledge is, and then through playing with these characters and basically put in whatever I know at the time. Then when I go and next time that I draw samurai, it'll be like a lot better. Well, not always a lot better, but like it'll be better than the previous one because I would kind of like go through and after I do it like naturally now each time I draw a character, but after I draw something, I would kind of like stare at it for a little bit and oh, I disconnected for a sec. Think about things that I like about it and things that I maybe don't like about it. And it's kind of all just like interest and opinion, really. And then I would, from there, take the things that I like about it and the things I don't like, then I would try not to do. But then I would basically just keep going from here, and I'll quickly kind of like finish a little bit of them. But if that was my first samurai, then instead of like going through and making another page or something, I just continue the scene from here. And so this is my first pretty much practice, I guess, of a samurai. And then I would go and now I want another samurai next to this one. So I would just go and basically create another samurai. Still continuing the theme and kind of like my interest and using mostly that to like fuel the drawing. So like I'm kind of taking whatever I'd want to draw and just going for it and not thinking about too much if it's not going to turn out, but just going for it and playing around with it and then creating a scene while I'm doing so, and also practicing like fundamentals and also practicing samurai. So it's like I'm stacking these many things that I could possibly learn on top of each other as like one act of just drawing. So like simplifying it all down to just drawing instead of breaking it down into all these like subcategories of practicing perspective and like light and shadow. And instead of practicing all these things separately, it's just kind of like I'm just kind of like having fun and following my interests and using that to learn off of. and it helps me kind of like stay interested and keep coming back the next day. But yeah, I would just basically keep repeating that over and over, and like that's pretty much what I'm still doing today is like that same like learning process basically, and it's like what I do on every single drawing. So like nothing has changed from when I was like practicing fundamentals. Like I've just been practicing it the same way the whole time. And it was like basically what I'm doing on this page, but like just like the knowledge and the experience was just like not as far along. Like you could draw stick figures and still be practicing all of the fundamentals really. Like you could draw stick figures and you could still do they could still have cast shadows, so you're practicing shading in some way. And then you could have the stick figures like in space, and you could like slowly work it up and give them swords and have them do actions and just like different things. Mhm. Like um skill like really doesn't matter for practicing. It's not like you need to master everything off the bat. And I really don't think there is like a mastering to any fundamental or for drawing in general. It's just kind of like everyone is at their own path and pace. Close the book for a second, though. It's a lot like mine. I don't think there's a title or anything on it. It's just a black cover. But yeah, I think if you like find a process that you really like for practicing, and it's some like if your process is something that could you like see yourself doing in like 5 years or however long you plan on like drawing for fun, and you have like a process you enjoy, I think like if it's fun and it's got like longevity to it and it's something you want to do, yeah, I think from there it will literally just takes like time and repetition. Yours is blue. Yeah, that'd be cool if mine's blue. All of my sketchbooks are all black. That's dope. That reminds me of how Kim Jong-un said he learned perspective before he knew what vanishing points or horizon lines technically meant. Yeah, it's kind of funny. A lot of like my learning process is kind of um based a little bit upon like Kim Jong-un. Not that like I don't know how he learned or any of that stuff, but I just realized that like it was possible to basically learn all of the fundamentals without like focusing on them, and I could still like draw whatever I wanted and then still be learning because I noticed that um the his 2020 his art from like 2018 I think till 2020, I think his art like got like a lot better, and I noticed like it's not like he was going and practicing fundamentals. It's just he was just drawing a lot from like what I saw. So I just figured I could pretty much probably try a similar thing and be able to learn that way. Plus, I kind of feel like if like drawing scenes or something like that is something that I want to do, then I don't really see the need for like all of these like side quests to be able to then start practicing scenes, if that makes sense. Like I think it's just much better to go fully for what you actually want and then start practicing that because that's gonna be like a whole different game than practicing fundamentals like separately. Like drawing boxes in perspective is like it's a separate game than drawing characters in perspective. Like I think they're very different skills and it might not seem like that, but like yeah, it just feels like different things. I don't know if that makes any sense, but like nothing against drawing boxes either for practicing. I think it's really good for simplifying. But I notice a lot of like including myself, I like practice fundamentals for way too long. Like I practiced for like 2 years basically just studying fundamentals. And I think like if I was to go back, I would have as soon as I like I could have just read like I was reading like the Loomis book on fundamentals, and I honestly could have just read the Loomis book and then just went to trying to draw what I want from imagination because like an insane amount of the mileage just comes from like me just doing this, like just drawing what I want for fun. Jeez, I was talking so much I forgot where I was on the page. I never learned anything about art. I was just drawing from references. It was bad until I found you and started drawing from my imagination. And my art was way better. It's weird. That's cool. That's cool to hear. Yeah, I honestly feel like art's not something that really, mm, it's not something that really needs to be taught. Like someone could kind of like figure out everything on their own. Because I mean, a lot of art is kind of like taking what we see every day and then like depending on what kind of genre or like fantasy or something, it's just kind of like then taking that information and messing around with it and distorting it or whatever. But yeah, I mean, everything, all the answers are already like, we see them every day. Like, we see shadows, like, we see in perspective. Yeah, so it's kind of already there. Ninja. This might be the first time I've ever drawn ninjas. You're like ZHC with David Finch, but with Kim Jong Un. That's kind of funny because I really do like David Finch and Kim Jong Un. I watched some of I don't think I've seen ZHC his art. I've seen like his stuff pop up on my feed, but I've never actually watched any of the videos. This looks like a sick battle between sides. Yeah, not really sure who's winning, but it kind of looks like they're all ganging up on the skeleton so far. Maybe they all want his hat.
Hey, what's up, unknown?
kind of like Kim's wig. Yeah, I like Kim Jong-il's artwork. Epic. Thank you. Slowly coming together. What's awesome, the Pentel brush pens are so fun. Yeah. Mm, they're not really my preferred brush, but yeah, they're definitely a lot of fun. When you want to draw something for the first time, like a shark character, for example, do you just go straight into put in, trying it on main drawing, or do you play with it first in your sketchbook? If I was gonna do it, then I would just put it straight in the main drawing. If it was something that I wanted to draw. I almost like treat the main drawings in my sketchbook. I kind of treat them in the same way. Like for me, they're not really any different, other than like the these pages just have more room for more characters, so it's kind of just more of a matter of space, really. Mm. But yeah, in my opinion, I think the like if you wanna if you're drawing a shark character to put into to your main drawing, then I think you'll probably learn like sharks and probably progress a lot faster putting it in your main drawing. But it does take a lot of bravery and courage to do that. Yeah, I've been trying to skip the drafting phase and just draw everything together, but I still find myself doing it now and then. I don't really show any of my drawings, so I don't know why I'm so caught up in trying to make it perfect to my standards. Yeah, I definitely know that feeling for sure. Yeah, I kind of like to like put it into the main scene. I like really like discovering too, and kind of just like seeing what happens. So if something doesn't turn out how I want it to, which is like more often, it doesn't turn out how I initially wanted to, but like it eventually kind of turns around. Sorry, I was talking to my sister for a sec. Yeah, it just kind of like more often. I don't know. I have like kind of a good example in my sketchbook. Well, I guess I have a lot of examples actually, but um, this Wolverine that I did in my sketchbook when I was like starting him, I really like was messing up his head here. But then as I kept going, it actually turned out pretty well. But I was like getting pretty discouraged. But then I don't know, like getting past this Wolverine and kind of like I kind of like ended up making it work, and then also like made one of my more favorite drawings. And it kind of all started from the Wolverine. That was like not the greatest, but it kind of happens like throughout my drawings, like little things here and there that are not exactly what I'm going for, but I kind of just like go with them, and then by doing that, it kind of like I'm able to kind of like let go of that and move on, and then it like often creates like a better drawing, and it kind of like I kind of go from like character to character and trying to improve off of each individual one, so I don't get like too bent up on one individual character too much. Kind of give myself like multiple chances, really. Hey, what's up, Kay? Also, wow. Thank you. Wow, drawing is awesome. I've got to remind myself that some I don't really know what word that is. Sometimes remind myself sometimes and not. When I finish the entire drawing, all the little mistakes I made during the more okay. Well, that drawing is so awesome. Yeah, I've got to remind myself that more times than not, when I finish the entire drawing, all of the little mistakes I made during the process aren't too noticeable. Yeah, that's just it too. And I don't know, at the end of the day, the like what you might deem as a mistake, it's probably like not that big of a deal. I think we often like to over exaggerate things, like out of proportion. Yeah, or you're able to turn it into something else. Yeah. M- Like the mistakes are kind of what make pretty much the whole my whole drawings. Like um if I didn't make mistakes, I don't think my drawings would be have much variety to them. It's come so far, that's awesome. Aubrey, well? Yeah, I'm doing well. Mm, I think my fingers are a little sore from drawing. That's fair. I was in the earlier stream for a bit. Yeah. Yeah, this is part two. You're going to bed. Have a good one. Yeah, man. Take it easy. Hope you sleep well and have a good night. It's pretty late here in Germany. Here before your eventual appearance on Proco. I don't know if that'll happen. That would be pretty cool though. Because I used to watch a bunch of um Stan's like anatomy stuff a few years ago. Mm. What's Proco? It's a YouTube channel. Is there a Jake suit reference in there? No. But that's pretty funny. The proportions do look like it though. No space. I'm thinking of maybe adding a few more characters. That's funny though. It's like Jake suit then. The bottom left gives you Patchy the pirate. Mm, who even is Patchy the pirate? Mm, oh, it's a SpongeBob reference? Hmm. Oh, is it is that his name, like the ghost pirate? Or is Patchy like the real life, like from the movie? The friendly pirate with the bird, the ghost one is. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, so the one from the movie. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Do you not know Patchy? No, I didn't know his name was Patchy. I feel like a nerd. Dude, I watched way too much SpongeBob as a kid. Mm. I don't think they say his name in the movie, but I know there is that one episode where they like go to or he comes to like the Bikini Bottom. The gorilla suit. That was freaky. Isn't that yeah, that's the one. Does Patchy come down to the Bikini Bottom for that? I can't remember like what makes him come down to the Bikini Bottom, but I think it's the gorilla suit one. Those hyper realistic close-ups, like the random faces in some episodes used to scare me so much. I always thought those were cool. Watching the older episodes of SpongeBob now as an adult makes me appreciate them in a whole different way. Yeah, there's so many like adult jokes in SpongeBob that yeah, I don't think yeah, it's like a different show almost watching it as an adult. All right. I think this one might be finished. I ran out of probably could keep going. Maybe put like one more dragon by here. maybe sneak him in here. You gotta go. Yeah, I'll see you, Sammy. Thanks for hanging out on the stream. Alright. I think I'm end the drawing here and probably end the stream too. Thanks everyone for hanging out today and catching the stream. This drawing has taken a long time, but it was really fun. Yeah, so I'll see you guys. Yeah, see everyone. Thanks for the stream. Yeah, no problem, man.